All right, now let's talk briefly about the outbox pattern, which is also known as store and forward. And just like that name sounds, what it involves is storing the messages that you want to have associated with a change to the state of your system, having that be transactional. So all of those messages are persisted as part of your transaction. And then once that transaction is committed, some other process picks those things up from the table that they're in, from the outbox, and sends them on their way. So this works great with events. You can also use it with commands in some cases, but the idea here is that if you have a change to your system state and some additional messages that need to take place with other dependent systems or other coordinating systems, the outbox pattern can work well. So in the diagram that you see here, in this sequence diagram, the client requests some action from the application that's going to mutate the state of the system. So it begins a transaction with the database and performs the action, makes some update, adds the item to the cart, whatever it might be. Now, as part of that, maybe there is an integration event that some other part of your system is going to pick up, and you want to make sure that that integration event only fires if the cart save operation was successful, right? And so it's going to be part of the same transaction to put the message into the outbox, which is in the database. All right. Then when you commit that transaction, that outbox, which again is in the database, that's not clear from the diagram, but it's part of your database, is going to be stored. Now, separately, this message relay service is going to kick off. Now, this might be a background worker. This might be an entirely different system running somewhere else that has access to the outbox. It's going to look and see that there's a message there that has not been processed, and it's going to take action on it. It's going to publish that message and forward it to wherever it needs to go, perhaps a message broker or another system. Then it's going to mark that message as processed. It'll set the time that it was processed, or it will delete it. Generally, it's better if you keep it there and update the time. That way you can see that it really was done, as opposed to if you just delete them, then you have no idea if maybe it was never sent. Then this is optional. Later on, if the client wants to, it can request some confirmation. And so since you've got the outbox and it can tell you that it was processed at a certain time, the client can get a confirmation that, yes, this message, this command, this thing that needed to be sent was in fact sent and at this time, right? So they can see that. We're going to go ahead and implement the outbox pattern in a simple scenario later on in the course.